So this is chapter 9. In your books, it is on page 62. So I've put a little note at the top here. So in this first part of the chapter, Lou has started lying to her parents about where she is during her meetings with No. As she's been paying for No's drinks each time they meet, she has run out of savings, and she tells her parents that she's going to the cinema, so they will give her €8 each time. She quite enjoys inventing stories and becomes very clever at researching the films she's supposed to have seen. So just something to think about. Is this a sign of things to come later in the novel? The fact that she started to lie to her parents. So yes, I had just highlighted there in yellow. That's basically just the same thing, that she told her parents that she is meeting up with Leah Germain. She's going to her house to work, and her parents are happy to know that she's found a friend, although they think it is Leah Germain. They don't realise it's No. Okay, so moving on then to, in your books, page 63. This first main paragraph, again, is the main theme here is les SDF. Quite a lot more detail here about the dangers of life on the streets. So I'll read through this one. So elle ne peut pas rester plusieurs jours de suite au même endroit. Cela fait partie de sa vie. Se poser, repartir, éviter les risques. Dans la rue, il y a des règles et des dangers. Mieux vaut ne pas se faire remarquer, baisser les yeux, se fondre dans le décor, ne pas empiéter sur le territoire du voisin, éviter les regards. So lots of details here, the things that are part of her daily life, the fact that she can't stay in the same place for more than several days at a time. She's always arriving and leaving, avoiding risks. There are rules in the street, and there are also dangers. It's better that no one sees you. Always lower your eyes. So it sort of explains why No never really looks at Lou. She sort of keeps her gaze down. She wants to blend into the background. You shouldn't trespass on your neighbour's territory, and you should avoid people's looks. And in pink then, so this is right in the middle of page 63, I have highlighted this quotation. Dehors, elle n'est rien d'autre qu'une proie. So outside, she is nothing else, or nothing but prey. So this illustrates the fact that there are lots of dangers for women who are homeless. So she feels like she's, always being chased. Okay, so that's a good quotation. You could learn that one because it's quite short as well. I would always stick to the short quotations. Pick something short that illustrates your point. Something that's easy to learn. Okay, so the next little bit then, again on page 63, I'll move this up to the top. Again, this is more details about homeless people and how they spend their days. Les heures passées à marcher, hours spent walking. This next bit here in pink. Elle me décrit ces endroits invisibles qu'elle a appris à connaître: cave, parking, entrepôt, bâtiments techniques, chantier abandonné, hangar. So she lists all these places, invisible places that she knows of where you can disappear during the day. So cellars, car parks, depots, technical buildings, abandoned warehouses. She doesn't like speaking about herself, and she sort of tells about her life through the lives of others. I'd put a couple of little notes here. So she uses stories of other homeless people to tell her own story. It is obviously difficult for No to accept that she is living in this situation. Again, she's embarrassed, maybe ashamed. She just doesn't want to admit that this is her. So this next little bit is in your books on page 64. I'll put it at the top. So I've highlighted this. Une autre fois, elle parle d'un type qui l'a suivie toute une journée. Elle ne savait plus comment s'en débarrasser. So she tells about this time when she was followed by a man all day long, and she didn't know how to get rid of him. And then sort of later in that paragraph, she talks about how she shouts at him, and eventually he goes away. So this is about the particular dangers facing women on the street. No comes across as being aggressive sometimes because that is how she survives on the street. Again, on page 64, I've highlighted this little bit. So, elle est sur la brèche, sur le qui-vive. Again, it's quite a nice little short quote to explain how No gets through the day. She's constantly on the lookout, on the brink, on the lookout, sur le qui-vive. So, literally, that literally means who lives. So, if she doesn't, it's her way of surviving. She's always on the lookout. The next part here that I have highlighted is on page 65, top of page 65. Un autre jour, elle me parle d'une femme qui dort dans le bas de la rue Oberkampf. So she talks about a woman who sleeps every night in the street. She has 6 or 7 plastic bags in her duvet and so on. And just at the end of the paragraph, I haven't highlighted this bit, but it says, No ajoute, faudrait que tu vois comment elle parle, on dirait une présentatrice télé. So you would think she was a TV presenter the way she talks. So what this is trying to illustrate is that this homeless woman is used to illustrate that people sleeping on the street come from all walks of life and even well-off backgrounds. No thinks she sounds like a TV presenter. Okay, so then we are approaching the end of page 65, where No tells the story of a fight that broke out yesterday at La Soupe Saint-Eustache, pardon. It's a soup kitchen. Il y a eu une bagarre entre deux femmes pour une histoire de mégots qui traînait par terre. So the two women were fighting each other over a cigarette butt that they found on the ground. So this illustrates the violence amongst the SDF, that should say. And people get so desperate that they sink to the lowest depths, and this is illustrated with this little quotation here on page 65, very bottom of your page. Elle dit voilà ce qu'on devient des bêtes, des putains de bêtes. So literally people become the lowest of the low when they're living on the street. Okay, almost there, and the very last bit then in your books is on page 66. So again, No is still talking about her days, the things she sees, the things she hears. Lou says, j'écoute avec toutes mes oreilles et j'en ai pas mal. J'ose à peine respirer. So I listen basically with I'm all ears. I listen with my ears wide open. And I've put a wee note in here. So Lou is listening hard. She is all ears. This is a little joke that she says about herself, as she believes she has big ears. We mentioned that in a previous chapter. Okay, I've also highlighted c'est un cadeau qu'elle me fait. So it is a present that she's giving me. And further on down again, she says c'est un cadeau qui n'a pas de prix. It is a present that doesn't have a price, a priceless present, a priceless gift. Lou believes that by telling her these stories, No is giving her a present.